What to say about Stalcraft? Well, like everybody else is saying, it's a mix of Minecraft and Stalker, I guess. It's weird, it's cool, it's unique. I didn't know what to expect when I turned the game on, but the hefty price tag of free pretty much guaranteed it wouldn't be a waste of my money or my time. It has everything you would expect from a Stalker genre game. It has Russians, Stalkers, bandits, anomalies, guns, creatures that are mutated beyond belief, and an open world, kind of. Open world, there's zones, I'll get into that later. And also there's a main quest line that you could follow to kind of guide you through the path. Stalcraft also doesn't really hold your hand that much. I mean, yes, there's some easy things there with map markers, of course, but during the quests, it will hide things in plain sight for you to find at those locations. Sure, it will tell you the radius of what you're looking for, but it won't tell you what it looks like that you're looking for. So it could be on a dead body pinned to a tree on the border of the quest radius, for example, like the shaman stash. While you are on these quests, PvP is an ever-occurring opportunity or threat, depending on how good you are. You will find that your time will be interrupted by other players looking to score whatever loot you have on your person at that time. And if you end up killing them, they can return relatively quickly because a death marker gets spawned onto the map, and it takes just a few minutes to run anywhere within each respective zone. So you either have two choices. You can, 1, loot and run away quickly, or 2, you can stay there, wait for them to come, kill them again, and it's essentially griefing at that point because they can't get their gear back because you can just change location every time so they don't know where you're at. It's that easy. There are pros and cons to this style of gameplay and this world design, but to be honest, this map isn't that huge, so even without these quest markers or these death markers, a person would make it back to their body soon anyways. Stalcraft isn't a true open world. Like I mentioned before, it has its own respective zones, not the zone, but instances within the world itself that are set aside for the player to go into where other players can't enter with you. These are reserved for missions, of course, prime examples being the starting missions or the main missions, but also the different regions of the map have their own zones as well. And I'm sure this is for performance increase as well as other things, but honestly, it's pretty good. I kind of like it, I dig it. While you go and explore, you will encounter dynamic events. Some of these events are actually marked on your map, including beast dens you can destroy, ambushed stalkers you can protect from an onslaught of generated beasts, or even enemy faction areas. All of these reward you for your efforts, of course. But there is another event that occurs that threatens the entire map, called emissions. To be honest, I'm not sure what exactly an emission is. It might be a large-scale anomalous attack in the world, or a radiation storm of some kind, but either way, you need to find shelter, which doesn't bode well for those individuals who are trying to cross a swamp by wading through the tall grass and the water instead of running to the bridge because they swear it's quicker. Something that is interesting is that when you die, you don't lose all of your loot. You lose some consumables like ammo, food, medicine. Sometimes this can be frustrating because some of these items are required for weapon tier upgrades, but all in all, you can't be that mad because you get to keep all of your guns and all of your armor. It's no great setback. The hardest part of this game for me is trying to decide what is worth picking up and deciding when to head back to a safe zone to sell or stash loot. There is no clear rule about when to do this. You have to have that judgment for yourself, but you will often find that you misjudge your situation and lose whatever it is you wanted in the first place. The game itself is pretty arcadey, and it doesn't have realistic weapon recoil or anything like that, which is to be expected given that, once again, it is literally Minecraft. This may be a turn-off to some players looking for a hardcore Stalker experience, but to be honest, if you are playing a game that looks like this, you probably aren't looking for that to begin with. While you go through the world and discover different towns or areas and regions, and each in their own zones, and the combat will get a bit more intense, and I use the word intense loosely as non-playable characters themselves are easy enough to deal with. All you have to do is hug a wall, camp on the corner, and watch them walk around to get to you. They are not intelligent at all and prove to be easy pickings for loot and ammo if you're diligent enough. The only difficult thing about NPCs is that they have insane player detection distance and also aimbot. If you stop moving, they will start hammering you if you are at the right distance. The players, however, will find ways to get a jump on you if you aren't careful. Honestly, when everything is block-shaped, it's pretty hard to distinguish what is a bush, what's a tree, what's an NPC, and what's a player. But that's the world design. I digress. There is a ton of dialogue in the game. Each quest has its own story. But the fast-paced action and movement of the world and character made me too impatient to read much of the story of the quests I was completing. There was a lack of dread and immersion and severity to me. The immersion is a funny word because it's literally Minecraft, like I said, but I can find myself emotionally invested in the gameplay and the story if they match the intensities and the pacing, regardless of what it looks like, because I'm a sap for symbolism. What can I say? But this game just didn't do it for me. I felt like it was competing against itself a bit. It had tons of story to tell, but the pacing of the game made me feel like I was in a race with other players. It was a strange place to be in. Of course, I know that whatever issues I have with the game, others may disagree. It's all opinion at the end of the day, and a lot of these issues are a me problem. I get that. I'd say that everybody should try this game. It's free, there's a story, and there's PvP, there's PvE. It might slightly itch the Stalker vibe that players are wanting as well. So now I hand it over to my viewers. Will this game last? Will it have a loyal player base? Was it even designed to last? I don't know. I'm not sure. All I know is that I think a lot of effort went into this game. The fact that it's free is a huge plus. Will it turn pay to win instead of free to play? I have no clue. There's the potential for every free game to turn that way at some point, especially with the rise and popularity of cosmetics and skins. But all this has yet to be seen. So, ladies and gents, all that being said, happy surviving. Path out.